So, on to the game. In the center left, we have an incredibly young esports member. He is so talented. He is so strong. Only 16 years old. Make some noise for Leenock. Not too far away. At the bottom of the map, a player who has shown very little weakness. He seems to have no holes in his play. An incredibly talented zerg. Give it up for DRG.
Now, even though DRG knocked Leenock down, beat him 2-0, and made it look easy, you know, maybe Leenock just was having some bad games, because you have to remember that Leenock did knock out Hydra in this tournament, and Hydra is an amazing ZVZ player, as we saw him on day one against Nestea, push Nestea to the limit. So obviously Leenock is very talented at the matchup as well.
Yeah, a really, really smart player. Positions like this are a little bit weird because, as you can see, the Overlord gets into the other player's base right away, and that doesn't generally happen in Zerg versus Zerg unless you're in these starting locations. So the problem is there's nothing that you can really hide right off the bat.
Yeah, and you know, I really like Leenock's play here better than DRG's. DRG going right now for a quick pool and gas, whereas Leenock going for that quick hatchery first, and he knows the exact timings of everything because they both have overlords over each other's hatcheries.
Yeah, and they won't be able to get rid of those overlords until the queen can come out, and that'll, of course, be after the spawning pool is complete. So, again, it's one of these situations where very little secrets can be kept early on in this Zerg versus Zerg. The spawning pool on the way, basically one player opening up with aggression, the other opening up with economics.
Well, you know, the spawning pool of Leenock going to be very late here, but he did that on purpose. He tried to get out as many drones as possible, so he's got a strong lead economically right now, but speed, of course, going to be done way sooner for DRG, and already going to have some Zerglings out.
More and more Lings on the way right now, and getting Zergling speed. Note he is continuing to mine Vespian gas. Occasionally, we'll see players take the drones off of Vespian gas after Zergling speed is complete. So right now, these are complete polar opposite builds, and now getting a Roach Ward.
Well, DRG looking like he might be going for an all-in tasteless Roach Speedling.
And, you know, I don't even blame DRG for doing this. Imagine being up by in 2 games, the amount of games Leenock has to come back with. I would certainly do a move like this because if it works, then you're going to be so ahead. If not, it's fine, whatever. You have room to experiment.
Mixing in all-ins is something very important when you play the same player in a lot of games, which is exactly what's going on here. He's up 2-0. It's a best of 7 at this point. So he's got so many tries to knock out Leenock.
This isn't a build we commonly see in Zerg versus Zerg, and I don't know if Leenock has anticipated it, but we do know that Leenock's Overlord over here can see that there's no hatchery, so he has to know that there's something going on here. Clearly, it's not going to be a situation where DRG is going to be investing into a late game, but that doesn't mean he knows that roaches are coming. It could have just as easily been Banelings.
Yeah, exactly. And he's actually setting up for Banelings. He's got 2 queens on the ramp, and he's moving his spine crawler. That is Baneling defense right there. And, in fact, he's just making more lings with speed. So this is kind of interesting because those wouldn't be too good against Banelings, but going to be reasonable against the incoming roaches.
Now, once the roaches get there, all that we will see from DRG is more and more Zerglings. He wants to keep the roaches alive, and he wants the Zerglings to tank the damage. Now Leenock knows, but is it too late? He has to control his army perfectly here.
Now, Leenock does have 2 transfuses, so that spine crawler should stay alive for a very long time. DRG may not be prepared for that, and in fact, Leenock is looking very good right now.
Oh, nice. He says, I don't even want to deal with the spine crawler. Going back over here, he can shoot down the hatchery. Of course, Leenock can try to cut off reinforcements, and here he comes. I think Leenock did not anticipate this, trying to relocate the spine crawler. And this angle is pretty good for DRG.
Yes, indeed it is. Leenock has a lot of Zerglings and his queens as well, but is it actually enough against his beautiful roach placement? He's killing so many Zerglings right now. DRG doing a great job, but Leenock with countless lings, more on the way, and DRG looks like his rush is going to fail.
And here's the problem, guys, is it's 27 supply to 32. The hatchery is only just now started. You can see a humiliated DRG returning back to his base and trying to figure out what do I do now? Can I scramble and assemble some kind of a plan? And I'm not sure. I don't think he has the blueprints for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Leenock right now does have a baneling nest, so he could put on some aggression of his own, but he has started drone up a little bit while he does make a few banelings. Where are those banelings, in fact? Out in the middle of the map. And DRG very smartly targeting those down as quickly as he possibly can. Can be risky to do such, but he found them right away.
So the hatchery's at half health. I don't see any way that DRG is going to take us out in time. Moving in here for a peek, he sees that the spine crawlers are being moved up, and that with those 3 queens, 2 over here and a 3rd in the main, he can do so much damage to the overlords and everything else. He actually might even push out, and he is taking out all these overlords. This is so smart.
Yeah, and in fact, right now, Leenock is making a lot of lings. This is really smart. I like it a lot. The fact that he has 2 hatcheries and 3 queens, and he's had them for so long, whereas DRG's second hatchery just finished, means that he can make a ton more units than DRG can. So if DRG doesn't get a great formation at his natural, doesn't have enough roaches to pick off the banelings, he might die at this upcoming attack.
Yeah, Leenock is going to return with such aggression. And by the way, DRG has supply block. This is a really smart move here by Leenock to just take out the overlords. Being supply blocked with the banelings coming towards him, I don't know if there's any way that DRG is going to survive this attack.
Well, this is going to be very hard. The queens are coming down. There are a few roaches. Zerglings coming down as well, but the banelings are here. And it looks like Leenock just going for the kill, moving those up, and a lot of them go down. Nice moves there, killing everything on the ramp, and Leenock has free reign inside DRG's base.
This is not looking good for DRG, and
GG.
that will be GG.
Leenock winning game number 1.